I started this conversation by noting that as Ambazonians, we must be ready to celebrate even the little victories that we get. We must be ready to celebrate milestones as they come. Because we are giving La République du Cameroon enormous trouble. Look here. When our Lord Jesus Christ cursed a fig tree, when he cursed a tree, that tree was still standing there, it was green. The leaves fresh, it was green. When he cursed it, something happened to it. The roots, the taproot died. And it was a matter of days. The tree started drying off gradually until it died. It died the moment the taproot was cut. You look at La République du Cameroon, we have not only dented, we have literally cut the taproot of La République du Cameroon. And La République du Cameroon is withering every day. That is why every day God has created, they want to dangle a mirage before us. They want to dangle an image of resiliency before us. They want to dangle an image of we are okay, we are doing just fine, we are very strong, this thing can go on for the next 50 years, nothing is going to happen to us. Hell no, that is not the truth. The reality on the ground is we have put La République du Cameroon in such a situation that they are withering by the day. La République du Cameroon is unraveling. Every day God has created. That is why you see that from 2016 to this day, La République du Cameroon has been on a backward trend. The people of La République du Cameroon have been having only worsening conditions on a daily basis. There has not been a moment since 2016 that there has been any positive announcement to the people of La République du Cameroon. It will either be news that salaries are being reduced because things are not going, or it will be news that they are raising the price of a fiscal stamp. When we started this struggle, a fiscal stamp in La République du Cameroon cost 500. Today is 1,500. I don't know if it's already got to 2,000. Maybe January will get to 2,000. When we started this liberation movement, a liter of gas in La République du Cameroon was around 500 plus CFA. Today, it's only at 850. When we started this liberation movement, the roads in most cities of La République du Cameroon were not as horrible as they are now. When this liberation movement started, I bet you the cost of producing an international passport was not where it is today. Today it's at 110,000 or more. But it used to be, I think it was 75,000 or even less. My people of Ambazonia, by day and by night, things are going worse. By 2016, mobile money did not attract a charge. Today, there are serious taxes on mobile money transfers. Telecommunication was not as costful as it is today in La République du Cameroon. Right now, it is just horrible. You take 1 gigabyte of data, you don't have 5 hours, it's gone. You start asking yourself, well, what has happened? You don't know what has drained it. They use all kinds of tactics to collect money from the people. The level of unemployment in La République du Cameroon was not at this point. Today is worse. Go on the poverty index. The poverty rate in La République du Cameroon has almost quadrupled. Check it out. You notice that a lot of businesses have simply closed down in La République du Cameroon because they are suffocating. My people of Ambazonia, all of this because of the power of our determination. All of this because of the resiliency of the people of Ambazonia. La République du Cameroon used to make a lot of money from our territory. Today, they are spending a lot of money to maintain themselves on our territory. The cost of occupation has become very unbearable. And now, 2025 promises to be hell for them. It has just started, as you're going to see right ahead. It has just started. Prior to 2017, if you said B somewhere like Republic of Cameroon, people will run and put themselves under gutters. They were the most dreaded. There was a myth of invincibility around them. Today, anybody can catch them and flog them anywhere because in the southern Cameroon, in Ambazonia, they were demystified, crushed in their numbers. La République du Cameroon has reached that point where they themselves are now sitting down, their citizens are now sitting down and doubting their ability to continue to maintain the occupation of our land. These are milestones. Milestones we must celebrate. And so, like I said a while ago, listen, 2025 is already announcing even worse colors. I said it here before, that citizens of La République du Cameroon will get to that place where they will take their tongues and eat the dust because of their occupation in Ambazonia. Look at what is coming on. It's been taxes, more taxes, ever more taxes. Taxes. They'll turn around and say we have revalorized salaries by 5,000 or by 5%. Just the price of gas takes it all. Life has become so unbearable. A 50 kilogram bag of rice that used to cost 28,000 or whatever, or 18,000, today sells at 45,000, 50,000, 60,000 in some localities. Now, look at this. With effect from January 2025, civil servants, or in short, all workers in La République du Cameroon are going to have a salary cut. They are not announcing it as a salary cut, but indeed it is a salary cut. You see what I'm sharing on my screen. That is part of the law, the finance law, that has been voted or is being voted at the National Assembly of the Republic of Cameroon as we speak. It says they are instituting, like you see, they say titre 4 des taxes et redevances communales, de la taxe de développement local. This is something now they are calling this one local development tax. So they are saying, il est institué au profit des communes une taxe communale appelée taxe de développement communal. Cette taxe est perçue, that is, they are instituting what they call a local development tax. And they say this tax, they say cette taxe est perçue en contrepartie des services de base et des prestations rendues aux populations. That this tax is being imposed to pay for services that the people are getting. They say éclairage public, that's public lighting, whether you are having public lighting in your area or not. There are too many localities without public lighting, but you pay for public lighting. Assainissement, that is cleaning up and everything. Enlèvement des ordures, that is garbage collection and everything. Fonctionnement des ambulances, that's for the functioning of those hospital ambulances. Adduction d'eau et l'électrification, water and electricity. So they say this new tax that they are calling local development tax is to pay for these amenities that people get at local level. But wait a minute. This is because the government of Cameroon no longer has money. Because if it is truly local development tax, it should be collected by the local councils directly within the framework of what is called decentralization. Hell no, that's not what it is. I'm sure we all know about a certain myth called audiovisual tax or CRTV tax, which, if you tend to see how much is collected monthly, it's several billions. But at CRTV, they don't have equipment because only a fraction of this money goes to CRTV. The government actually needs it to finance itself because they don't have means. That's why lately, CRTV Shandongo announced that they could not broadcast a match of the Indomitable Lions playing in Douala because they had challenges, equipment breakdown, and no resources to maintain their equipment. But the people are paying an audiovisual tax, we'll call it a CRTV tax, which is a lot of money on a monthly basis. There is also, again, another tax that's already being collected from the people. Still a council tax. And that one is collected straight to FECOM. That money is supposed to get to FECOM. FECOM is supposed to gather all that money and redistribute it to the various councils, either equitably or according to need, to enable the council. Because FECOM is actually called the local council support fund. But that money gets in there is used for something else. And so this tax that I'm talking about today, that's being imposed, and they claim it is local development tax, is because of the pressure that the government of the Republic is facing. They are unable to pay their workers regularly. They know it's going to be so hard in 2025 because the IMF is putting pressure on the Republic du Cameroon to completely remove the last financial support, or you should call it subsidy, in the fuel sector, so that the people pay exactly what the cost is. Right now, a liter is 850 francs. The IMF envisages that La République du Cameroon will have to get the liter of gas up to at least 1,000 francs. That is coming up in fiscal year 2025. La République du Cameroon is still grappling with it. They don't know how to handle that situation. And like I said, this tax is going to hit everyone. Because I see some of you texting to say, oh, that is foreign news. No, it's not foreign news. Because this tax will be imposed in Ambazonia. Because this tax will be paid to by Southern Cameroonians who are still earning income from La République du Cameroon. It will be paid to by Southern Cameroonians who are working for the private sector, because even people in the private sector will be forced to pay this tax to La République du Cameroon. As long as they occupy our land, stupid measures that they take in their land will affect people in our land. That is why it is not foreign news. That is why it is relevant. That is why we need to know about this, so that we understand the need to drop our petty, stupid fights, to drop our stupid rivalries, our lousy claims for power. I'm the one in charge, I'm not the one in charge, and all whatnot, and focus on the need to evict these people from our land, so that our people can know peace, so that our people can have good governance, so that our people will be delivered from the hands of some nonagenarians who are making life impossible, who are suffocating our people with their evil policies. So going back to that local development tax, look at how much you're going to pay. If you are a worker in that entity, when you see this barrel that I'm showing here, look at it, you see your salary level, you should already know how much you're going to be paying monthly. So this is how it's going to be cut. They say pour les employeurs du secteur public et privé. So you see, pour les employés du secteur public et privé. So for workers of both the public and private sector, this is exactly what I mean. If your basic income, that is your salary before taxes, not the take home, if your basic income, the salary before taxes, is between 62,000 and 75,000 CFA a month, they are going to be cutting 3,000 CFA francs on your income every month as local tax, as local development tax, which means at the end of the year, you are going to pay 3,000 times 12, that's about 36,000. If your basic salary is between 75,000 and 100,000, you'll be paying 6,000 francs every month. I mean 6,000 every month. If your basic salary is between 100,000 and 125,000, you'll be paying 9,000 francs every month. I'd like you to pay careful attention. Don't think it's foreign news, it's going to affect you. You who are working with is it Midenor? It will affect you. You who are working with the Rudep, it will affect you. You who are working with which other private entities, even with Schumas, it's private sector, it will affect you. You who are working with a credit union, it will affect you. You will pay this tax. This is something you need to pay attention to. So if your basic income is between 150,000 and 200,000 francs, you will pay a whooping 15,000 francs every month. Take your calculator, calculate the percentage of that on what you earn, and you will see for yourself what hell is coming your way. And the prices of basic commodities are not going to change. They may instead be going up. why your purchasing power is going down. If your salary is between 200,000, your basic salary, 200,000 and 250,000, you'll be paying 18,000 CFA francs a month. If your basic salary is between 250 and 300,000 francs, you'll be paying a whooping 24,000 francs a month. If your basic salary is between 300,000 and 500,000, you'll be paying 27,000 a month. And if your basic salary is above 500,000, you'll be paying 30,000 francs a month. Now look at something. They just say if your basic salary is above 500,000, you'll be paying 30,000 francs a month. That is an injustice, because the person who earns between 300 and 500,000 and pays 27,000 a month will be paying more than, if you do the percentage, will pay more than the person whose basic salary is 700,000, is 800,000, is 900,000. And who are those who are at this end? They are the 2% governing class, those who have taken the country hostage. So at the end of the day, always, these taxes are imposed more on the poor people than on the rich ones. This is what it is. This is going to effect in January 2025. We're in November. So 2 months from today, this will be getting into effect. And like I said, the IMF has its fingers on the throat of La République du Cameroon to readjust the cost of a liter of petroleum at the pump. That is why I titled this show Bloody 2025 Approaches. Because it doesn't get better. So my dear people of Ambazonia, when you are unevenly yoked with a people who don't know what it means to stand up for their rights, you may end up looking like them. And that is why quite some of our folks, 1 to 3% of our folks, who have let the ugly system penetrate into them, and they belong to a Dracula club known as CPDM, they are already like them. That is why everything they clap it through. Because even with all of this torture and suffering coming, you see, for Tabetando get up and go into Manu, gather young people who are not eating maybe for 2 or 3 days, bring some from outside with a promise of 2,000, 3,000. They come and gather and say, oh, Paul Biya, whether he even knows that he's still alive or knows where he is, or be our president, be our candidate in 2025. Because while all this is going on, the people who are responsible for that torture are not shaking. Oh yes, look at them. Those are the nonagenarians. Those are the Draculas that are still there and still plan to be there for the next 14, 21, or if not even 30 years. My dear people of Ambazonia, this is why it is important for us to continue to recognize the urgency for us to do the needful at the opportune moment to get these people out of our land, to get these people without a vision out of our land, to get these people without human feelings, who have lost their total sense of humanity, to get them out of our land. It is urgent. Because we want to create a country, we want to birth a country that will function with democratic principle. We want to birth a country full of opportunity, a country with a clear development vision. We want to birth a country that will make use of its best human resources. When I show you these Draculas in La République du Cameroon, look at them there. Paul Biya, Nyadji Fendi, President of the Senate. The other one, Cavalier Yeye Nombril, President of the National Assembly. Just on that, see this one who is great and finished until he can't even walk straight. Laurent Eso, call him Lorenzo, Minister of Justice. In the middle there, you see this 92-year-old man, Chief of Police. This one who even collapsed in the in the minor basilica in Mvoye, in La République du Cameroon, this Saturday, this Saturday, that's 2 days ago, Saturday the 16th of November, he even passed out in church and had to be hurried out in an ambulance. He is still the president of the Constitutional Council. Look at those people, and they are hanging on. How will you get development? How will you get change? How will you get better living conditions? How? Their future has long been behind them. But now go to Botswana. See the contrast. That is the president there, that man is 54 years old. That is the minister of energy here. The minister of energy here. You see this young woman, 37 years old. This is the minister of youth affairs here, 26 years old. This is the health minister, 37 years old. These people, their future is still before them. Reason, they will do their all because their eyes are still looking ahead. The other people, their eyes are already behind them. These ones, their eyes are behind them. So they can't look ahead. They are looking but at those their wonderful days and wanting to continue to revel just in one day. They are living in the past. Their eyes are behind them. Meanwhile, these ones, their eyes are ahead, in front of them. The future is still ahead of them. That is why, look a bit on Botswana. Compare that to this moribund, God-forsaken country called La République du Cameroon, and see the Gulf. This is the dream we have of Ambazonia. To birth a country where we put our best human resources in charge. So they will develop a vision for the future. When they will sit and not think all about tomorrow or about today, they will be looking 50 years ahead. What will we be like? My dear people of Ambazonia. Listen, I just talked there about January 2025 coming, already with a serious tax that takes a serious dig into the people's incomes. La République du Cameroon will continue to do this because they know nobody will raise a little finger. Because they know there are no longer people in that country. Because they know the only thing they need to do is make sure soldiers have the best income. Is to make sure soldiers are free to torture anyone, any day, anyhow, and extort the way they want. So that they continue to be pleased with the situation as it is, so that they will continue to work to maintain them in place. That kind of country is not where we belong. We don't have to have anything to do with that kind of country. That is why this comment by Alpha Condé, who was president of Guinea Conakry, speaks to us, Ambazonians. Listen.
Le Cameroun, d'abord, il ne faut pas oublier qu'il y a eu une guerre de libération et qu'on a liquidé l'UPC pour mettre au pouvoir des hommes de paille. Bon, le problème du Cameroun, même le Camerounais doit se poser la question pourquoi il n'y a pas de coup d'État. Et voilà un pays où le président ne tient jamais le Conseil des ministres. Il peut faire 6 mois sans Conseil des ministres. Il peut faire 2 mois à Genève. La plupart du temps, il est sur son terrain de golf. Donc je pense que le cas du Cameroun, vous savez très bien, c'est que, est-ce que les militaires vont à la retraite au Cameroun? Les militaires jusqu'à 70 ans, ils sont dans l'armée, ils ont tous les avantages, donc ils n'ont pas besoin de faire un coup d'État.
You got that? Okay, for those who don't understand French, you call it enemy language. Alpha Condé is saying, when you look at a country like Cameroon, you wonder why there hasn't been a military coup in that country. Because he is recognizing what he is saying deeply is that that country is a hellhole. That country is hell on earth. I mean, we hell. And any normal thinking human beings would long have overthrown a government that doesn't connect to the realities or to the challenges of the people. How are you saying that a country where the president has never held a council of ministers for over a decade, where the president can go and stay him in the most expensive hotel in the world in Geneva for 2 months running without bothering. Nobody says a thing. A country which is not governed. Conditions are getting worse by the day. Nobody cares. You see, the military, they cannot rise. Why? Because at 70, they are still on post. No retirement. They must continue to be there enjoying their benefits. Like I said earlier, they have all kinds of benefits, even including the benefit of torturing and extorting from the population with impunity. That's why you see them there on the roads, they will stop you on the road and blatantly take your documents, pocket them, you will pay 50,000, you pay 100,000. That's why they're in Ambazonia, they will kidnap our people in the name of Calais, go and keep, and be collecting 500,000 francs from each person. Otherwise, they will frame you as a terrorist and all of those things and go scot-free. So why should they organize a coup? Why should they think that they should overthrow the government in that country? They are benefiting from its approach. They are benefiting from its corruption. You can't get yourself yoked to such a nation, yoked to such a people who don't care about the same people they are supposed to be, they are taking the oath to defend. Because the soldiers are paid for the taxpayers' money. Their true boss are the taxpayers, not the president. So their allegiance is supposed to be to the constitution and to the flag, not to some rascals who have constituted themselves and taken the future of the people hostage. We need to separate from such kind of people as fast as we can. We need to eject them out of our land the fastest possible, because we did not belong with them in the first place. We don't belong. And the only way we do it is understand the need to seize the moment. Set aside our greed for vain virtual power. Forge towards synergy. We must stop this mentality of everybody must fall behind me. You are either with me or nothing. It will either be my way or the highway. We have to stop it, and stop it now. If we don't stop it now, opportunity will elude us and we will continue to stay in the wilderness. This is the message I brought here today. And I wish that we all take time to ponder over it. And I wish that we all recognize that we each have a responsibility in what is going on, in the disunity, the division, and the confusion that is going on, in the little demigods that we ourselves have created here and there in the diaspora, and who are now turning to devour the very liberation movement we are all depending on to get freedom. We must recognize our responsibilities. If we, the people, decide to end this nonsense, it will end. If we decide to withdraw our support from all those who deny to work with others, it will end. If we stop sending out lousy audios, calling people names and say all kinds of trash, it will end. If we decide to stop contributing money to individual groups and insist that the people must work together, at least if all the groups are not sinking, let there be some synergy, some unity of purpose. If we don't take measures as such, then we will all continue to have the blood of all those innocent people dying on the ground because they believe in this our liberation movement on our hands. Don't watch me and say that it is some people's responsibility, because I see some people send me messages, come and say, oh, you people must do everything to bring about synergy. You people who? You too, you are responsible. Make this call to everyone who is concerned, who is in the front lines. This is how we begin, by resolving it. Each and every one of us must recognize our responsibility in this and rise to the occasion to end it. Yes, we can do it. We can't just sit back and expect that some miracle will happen. Those kinds of miracles, they scarcely happen these days. We must see realism, and we must all graduate from that attitude of thinking that it is others who have the responsibility to do it, and we must all do it together. I want to thank all of you who stayed on with me. It was a pleasure being back here, and I'll make an effort to be more regular here so that we continue to exchange together. Sometimes when I don't come, I'm not afraid of the stones and the arrows that come. Those arrows and those stones, they make me stronger. To God be the glory.